Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Green Terror with Elena Chapman. My name is Della, and I will be the moderator for this evening. The Green Terror is a weekly interactive community group for seekers exploring ways to activate possibilities and creativity in our lives. We go deep into spiritual dimensions that are all often ignored in our fast-paced modern world. The format of each call is a teaching format in which we share content and followed by open conversation, which is facilitated by Elena. She provides opportunities for each to engage, ask questions, share experiences, and deepen the teachings. All participants are automatically muted, so in order to participate in the interactive portion, please raise your hand, and later on we'll unmute and everybody can just have a general conversation. But in the beginning, Elena will share, and during that time, everybody will be muted. So now it is my pleasure to introduce to you our Green Terror host, Elena Chapman.
Hello, everyone. I'm Elena Chapman, and I think most of you know I'm a two-time international best-selling author. I'm known as a soul curator, and I got my third book coming out. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy. It's called Hello Soul. And I'm also a radio show host, podcast, whatever, on Law of Attraction, whoa, other syndicated stations around the US. So anyway, I'm called Magical Moments. But let's get started on tonight. Let's talk about this. And I'm so excited about this topic because it's near and dear to my heart. And that is procrastination. And there are different styles of procrastination. And there are different ways that different people procrastinate and different reasons why we procrastinate. I would love, if I could get everyone to talk, I would love, after I say, I'd like this to be more interactive. So what I want to do is I'll describe different ways of procrastinating, and then I want to hear from you which one you align with, because where you align is so important. But there is a common theme. Procrastination is awaiting the last minute, if there's a deadline, the last minute to do something. It's also, and if there's not a deadline, that's when the real problem starts, because there's no deadline. So procrastination is one of the leading problems for people in starting what they want to do. I can't tell you how many people, when I was with, I started writing when I was with Peggy McCall. She's known for helping people write books. And when I wanted to write a book, I met her right away, and she was helping me. I cannot tell you, now that was, my first book was 2014. I can't tell you how many were in that class that are still not through their first book. And unbelievable. And I'm on my third. Isn't that something else? Because of procrastination. Simple as that. Why are people still waiting to start on their dream? I once did this experiment where I went into a coffee shop, and Earl Nightingale, actually, from the one of his podcasts that he has, he was in the 1960s, all right, and he was a big, he had the show called The Strangest Secret. And what he used to say was that if you asked 10 people, 9 of them wouldn't, or 8 of them would not be able to tell you what they wanted to do in their life, what was their dream. And 2 of them may tell you what they want to do, but don't know how, just haven't moved on it. Okay. So I went into my neighborhood coffee shop that I always, I always try things in my coffee shop. And I had a little pad of paper, and I went around to all the tables. Sometimes I think when I go in that coffee shop, they must just cringe because they know I'm coming. But I go up to them and I said, so would you mind just sharing with me, do you have a dream? Do you have something you want to complete, a passion in your life? And then they would tell me. And truth be told, if I did 20 and 15 all had a dream. Why don't you move on your dream? And every single one said, oh, because I have a family. Oh, because I'm making money in my job. Oh, because I've got a pension I'm waiting for. Oh, because of this, because of that, because of this. And then 4 or 5 of them said, no, they didn't even have a dream. Interesting. Kind of turned around from what he said, but still the odds were a lot alike. So procrastination is one of the leading reasons we don't attain anything. And I'm a weird procrastinator. I've always been a procrastinator. I mean, I remember in school, if I had to study for the test, oh my gosh, my room needed to be cleaned. A room I never cleaned, I would clean then. And I had the cleanest room by the time that test came up. So, or something else. I always found something else to fill the time. And if I had a big project, I started out so good. I did. I would start the beginning of the year and I would have a graph. So we would, you go to class the first day, especially in college, and they tell you, okay, you're going to have this project done on this date. You're going to have this done on this date. You got to have a composition on this date. I was in music. So, okay, I'd have my little graph and I'd have the first few weeks, I'd have like this. Okay, we're going to work on. Okay, the second few weeks, going up to the due date, we'd increase it. We're going to work that much. Okay, we got that going. We're going to do a lot more research. And then the week that's due, oh my gosh, we're going to be like this, right? So see how we're doing this little ladder effect? That's so wonderful, step, step, step. And it's going to be just a piece of cake because we're going to be right on top of it, starting right away, right? Well, that's not how it worked. I found that I was the girl who, that first week, nothing. Second week, halfway nothing. Maybe we looked at the book. We're into the final week. Nothing until 3 days before. And I'd love to say I got better. I did not. I was always the girl who went 3 days before. I was always getting something major in and just meeting that deadline. Then when I got into work, I did the same thing. And it got really bad when I started to get into speaking. I would get my speech ready and they'd say, oh, Elena, we need that before. Yeah. Night before, I'm putting together the speech. Even if I had started it earlier, night before, I'm rewriting the whole darn thing. And I figured it out then. I figured out me. I'm a procrastinator. 2 kinds of ways I'm procrastinating, and I'll cover those. That one way is because I am a thrill junkie. I like the pressure. I think when I am under pressure, ideas just come to me like crazy. So that night before I'm writing the speech, new stuff is coming in, I'm just like cranking ideas. I'm on adrenaline with it and I love it and I thrive on it. So I will push everything to the very edge so that I can get that thrill. Interesting, isn't it? And it gives me immense satisfaction. It's a thrill monkey. Now, the thrill monkey causes problems because when I'm supposed to be getting ready for things, the thrill monkey says, you know what? This would be more fun. You'll get more response from this. Yeah, you clean your room. It'll feel so good. You'll feel so organized. So we clean the room. Or plant those flowers. Wouldn't it be nice to do your speech while you're looking at all these beautiful flowers? The thrill monkey puts everything in there to make it thrilling and fun. And that's why that night before, it's like, oh my God, now we got to do it. Oh my God, I got to break down. And oh my God, isn't this fun? I really get to push. And that's my kind of procrastination. Now, that works for everyone who has a deadline. And you'll find that a lot of people do that with deadlines. Now, there's also the kind of procrastination that happens when we want to do something, but we don't know how, or it doesn't feel like we can grasp it yet. And this kind of procrastination is a lot harder because it happens to us in everyday life. Maybe you don't have a job that has deadlines like that you get that thrill monkey, which I just love my thrill monkey. But, you know, so for me, maybe it is. I always have to feel ready. Even with this book, Hello Soul, that I'm doing. All right, I'll tell you the story of this book. So this did have sort of a deadline though, but we far surpassed that. That deadline died because this book was supposed to start out. It was an idea by my staff that said, okay, we need something new. So just take the book, The Prison Effect, and we'll just do a little update. We'll put it out at the same thing. Tell them it's the same thing, new vision. And okay, so then I started, I couldn't do it. I could not look at the book. I could not look at the book. I could not sit down. And every week they say, okay, Elena, are you ready for that? No, not this week. I had this and this and this. Procrastination. Next week, no, I had this and this and this. Procrastination. 6 months later, I have this and this and this. Procrastination. But here's the thing. With that procrastination, it's because it didn't fit right. It didn't fit right for me. And I finally just said, guys, I don't feel right about this. I don't like this. And they said, what do you mean? I said, I think my readers deserve a new book. And they said, well, what are you going to write about? I said, I'm not sure yet. And they said, well, when are we going to get it? I don't know. But I'll get you a book, but this doesn't feel right. And I had to take that idea, and then I had to grow into what this book was going to become. And then once I got that settled and I knew what I wanted to talk about, I wanted to talk about my journey on how I started to live by my soul. Then I took off on that book. But it had to feel right to me. I had to take it and make it my own. So sometimes we just don't feel right. We have this dream, but we're just, how can we make it manageable? How can we make it real? How can we make it that we can make the steps or take the steps? My dog's playing, sorry if you hear that. Take the steps to move towards it in a reasonable way that aren't too big. We have to take it and digest it first and run it through ourselves and then do it. That's another type of procrastinator. And then there's a third kind of procrastinator. There's a procrastinator who wants something but really doesn't feel they can attain it. So those are the three types of procrastinators I have studied and learned and have clients coming in. They're the procrastinators who, the ones who don't feel they can attain it. They're also, I wanna put a little caveat on that. They are also the ones who are scared of the unknown. They're the ones who will stay with that toxic relationship and procrastinate, even though they don't want to be in it. They want to leave, but they don't because they're scared of the unknown. What's it going to be like not having someone in their life? They're the person who stays in the job even though they really want to do something else with their life, but they stay in that job because they're scared of the insecurity of not having a steady job. They're the person who could write that book but is scared of the rejection or the book not doing well or whatever, so they don't write the book. Does any of these? Now I want to open it up and you can be honest. And people, if you're on Facebook, be honest. I should put on Facebook. because we have this going there too. Um, yep, there we are. So people who are there on Facebook, even, I would love to know what, where do you find yourself? Where is that procrastination really hitting you? And identifying it is one of the first ways to start to conquer it. Because how I conquer my little thrill monkey is quite different than how I solve the one who is scared of the unknown or the one who doesn't feel right. It's different. Does anyone want to try and let me hear? Anyone want to dive into this? Or we're just happy watching? Yeah? Oh, come on. Della. Yeah, I'm dragging you in here if you're here.
Yes.
We're gonna start this show on the road. So tell me about you. What if you are you a procrastinator? You must be.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing about how I procrastinate is I can motivate and encourage someone else and plan out for everybody else when things need to be done. But for myself, I wait until right before the deadline is due, and then I hustle and get it done. And there's only been one time in my life where that didn't work, and I almost had a panic attack. That felt like a heart attack. And even in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. And those are short-lived spurts where, you know, I'll actually plan and be far in advance. And it does feel good, those few and in-between times that I function like that. But naturally, I am a procrastinator. But I've learned how to trick myself to be more productive versus a failure. But
And
yeah,
how did you do
I will,
that?
I will wait. I will wait until almost the last minute to make it happen.
How did you trick yourself?
Just changing my just changing my deadlines. You know, even though it may not be due until the 30th, I will make it due for me on the 20th. You know, type of
That's
thing.
discipline. That's a great trick. It's hard. I can't do that. But you know what? If you can do that, I think that is excellent. That's an excellent way to do it. So like if you have something due on the 30th, you say, okay, I'm this is due on the 20th, and you make yourself believe it and you work for that. Yeah,
Yep.
I hand it to you. That is a great way to do it. And I personally say, oh heck, no, I know it's really on the 30th. I'm so bad that way. But if you can do it, I applaud you 100%. I think that's a wonderful solution for those who can do it. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So who else wants to? I'd love to hear the styles. And if you know your style, I would love to know. Carolyn, what about you, hon?
Okay, I didn't know if you were calling me earlier. We had a little bit of the changing of the guards over here, so they were in my room. But
Oh, that's why.
yeah, um, yeah, procrastination, that's a big one for me. I've gotten better though, and I
Yeah.
kind of have to trick myself like Della. I don't do it that far, but I put it like a couple of days or whatever. But mine's been mostly time. But I find myself worrying about the situation like all night. I'd be waking up at night thinking about that deadline, so it doesn't really help me to trick myself. I'm not really tricking myself.
So you
So
hear the worry, you get all worried.
exactly.
Okay. So you got to ask yourself this question, and it's a yucky question, but I'm going to tell you, you got to ask yourself anyway. You got to ask yourself, if procrastination is causing you so much pain, why do you do it?
Isn't that a form of lazy?
No.
No,
I don't.
I'm talking about procrastination in general.
Oh, procrastination in general, like you have to go grocery shopping and you don't want to. No, I procrastinate grocery shopping because I truly hate grocery shopping. Simple as that. And so my boys will say, Mom, when are we going to get this? Okay, tomorrow. Because I hate going to the store. It's not laziness. I hate doing it. So I get that. So I don't know if procrastination, if I would put it in the laziness. I think
Okay.
procrastination, there is something more going on. Like Like I said, I love the thrill of the last minute. And
Yeah.
I'll procrastinate if it doesn't feel right. I need time to, I need time to mold it. So those kinds of ways. So sorry, Carolyn, I'm not letting you off that easy.
Okay.
I
Oh
tried.
goodness.
So what do you think?
I think it's and it's not, sometimes I'm busy and sometimes I'm not. I'm just procrastinating. I don't know what it is. I mean, I've been fighting with this for years. And you know what I noticed? My mom does it.
I'm sorry?
My mom does it. My sister does it.
Yes. Yeah.
So
It can
I'm
be.
like, is it learned behavior? Is it, what
Yeah.
is it?
It can be. It
I
can be.
have a son that does it. Yeah.
Yeah, if everyone around you has always done it, you will definitely, yeah, you take on those habits. And it's true, you do. And I have to say, whoops, there you go. She's got echo. Whoops, whoops, whoops. You're gonna have to get off or go in. Yeah. Um, the the whole thing is when you learn it and you learn it from someone else, and like your mom or your dad or your teacher, then all of a sudden you have to unlearn it.
Yeah.
You have to so setting I would, if it's a learned behavior, you know right away. And there's an easy test you can do for it, Carolyn. And that is you set up deadlines for yourself for whatever it is, anything. Just set it up. Tie your shoes. I'm going to do that by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
By 2 o'clock, you have it done. You train yourself to beat that habit because it's become a habit from what you've seen and heard and the environment you've lived in. So what you have to do is every time you meet that deadline without procrastinating, and you don't allow yourself to worry, as soon as you worry is only inactivity. We worry when we're inactive towards whatever we're worried about.
Okay.
So every time you start to worry, you meet that deadline. Every time you worry about whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It can be the littlest thing. In fact, I would really want it to be the littlest thing because you're working on a habit, not on accomplishment or bigness. And it's always baby steps. Baby steps are always the best way. So do little things like tying your shoes or grocery shopping if you love grocery shopping or whatever it is. Just do it at the deadline and set a deadline and meet it. And then when you do, celebrate it. And celebrating it is really key. I'm not saying that just because I love to celebrate, which I do,
Right.
but celebrating solidifies the goodness. It's like your whole body, your whole being, your whole spirit says, this is the way I want to live. And name why. Oh my gosh, I didn't worry. Oh my gosh, I really got it done. I didn't have any worry. I slept last night. Do you see?
Yes. Yes. Now that would be a good thing.
And then if that doesn't work, then it's more than just a habit.
Okay.
We have someone on Facebook, Deborah Benefield, and she says sometimes you have to reward yourself when you get that win.
That's right. Did she just put it in the chat? Deborah's sweetheart. That's what I was saying. That's right. You congratulate yourself. You just, yes, you say, you list it, and you can even get yourself that little chocolate or whatever you like, if you like. But I don't want to promote food because I don't want you to gain 100 pounds breaking a habit. But a little bit of a reward would be very nice. Hey, Deborah, I'm so glad you're on. I love you, sweetie. It's been a long time. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Deborah had a good point, and that's exactly what I was saying. So I love it. Felicia, where are you? Felicia's here. Come here.
She's trying to come back in.
Felicia's here. She came to my house. She's from Fort Wayne. So she's here. Here's Felicia.
Oh,
Hi. So I'm sharing my screen tonight. Sometimes I get people in the house anyway. Sometimes I have a group. So anyway, so tell me about you and your procrastination issue.
I was thinking it's so much in familiar, is comfortability for me in familiar stuff, familiar habits And it's real easy for me to procrastinate inside of all of that. Well, I'll do it later. Like Elena was talking about, I think I need to clean up. Or maybe if I cook this, anything, any excuse in the world I can come up with, but why I need to do something besides what I need to do. You know, so I was just thinking about how I can get stuck and trapped into familiar, habitual things.
Yes.
Yeah, and how it's easy to stay stuck like that, and how I have to break free from the habit and unlearn the behavior, and how ingrained, and I can be doing this habitual thing for decades and not even realize it, and how difficult it can be to unlearn and procrastinate in unlearning and still want to do it, but it don't even know how.
Here's the thing. Well, that's what it is. And that's when we want to break a habit such as procrastination, or any habit, guys, any habit. Habits are learned behavior. And boy, we hate to change our behavior. We don't want that. It's familiar, it's comfortable, it's dependable. We don't want to change it. So how do we? We have to break it up. You have to break it up into small. I keep saying baby steps. I mean baby steps. Watch What About Bob? Watch that movie. I'm serious. I love that movie. It is so good. And it's all about a guy who conquers every neurosis in life by baby steps. And it's the funniest. It's with Bill Murray. It's hysterical. It's a funny movie too. But it proves my point about baby steps. And so if you can don't take all your habits at once. And just take one. And don't even take the habit of procrastination if that's too big. Take one thing. So leaving the dishes in the sink. Maybe I'm somebody who leaves the dishes in the sink all night. Well, I'm not going to. I'm going to have that done by 6 o'clock tonight. I'm going to have all those dishes in the dishwasher are washed. And if you find that you go by 6 o'clock, then you ask yourself, well, now why did I do that? Now look at what I've got. All right, we're going to try it again tomorrow night. And that's all you say. Don't punish yourself. But then tomorrow at 6 o'clock, you're going to have it done. And you're going to work at it. You're going to just get yourself ready to go. You're going to do it and set yourself a reward. That fun. Congratulate yourself. If I get
Okay, I think her screen froze.
Yeah. I agree.
God, she just said a beautiful bath with candles. I am so there. I will do any dish to get in that bath with candles. So you reward yourself then, okay? You can do that. And oh my gosh, before you know it, you have that done. First night, 6 o'clock. Next night, 6 o'clock. Okay, next night, 6 o'clock. And you all of a sudden have broken a habit. Pretty soon, you don't even need to have that reward. You just like the feeling. You have changed a habit.
Yeah.
Do you see? Yeah. And then you move on to the next procrastination.
Yeah.
But you have to also look, that's good for breaking the habit of procrastination. But you also have to look like, okay, I admit, my office looks like a tornado hit it. It looks awful. My office has never looked so bad in its whole entire life. And it has looked that way for a good 3 months. I'd love to say it doesn't, but it does. And why is it looking that way? Because I haven't decided what I want to do with it. First, I wanted to take the chest out and create a TV space, for doing videos and stuff. And then I decided, well, no, I don't really need that because we don't want to do it that way anymore, I guess. That's what I've been told. So then I thought, okay, I won't take that out. But then I was going to take that off the wall. I just keep going. I'm planning. And so that I don't feel worried. I don't feel pressured, even when people say, boy, that's really a tornado in there. I don't care. I have to think this through before I do it. I'm not really procrastinating. It looks like it, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm planning. See, that's the type of procrastination. Now, Elfrida,
Yeah.
hi.
Hi.
I see you studying us very well. So tell me, so what do you think about all this procrastination stuff?
What do I think about it? Oh, I think procrastination sucks a lot out of you and your life,
It does.
you know,
It
and
does.
logically you can say it, I agree with everything that you've said, but when push comes to shove, and I think my procrastination is tied into, a fear of success in quotes. And so
Good angle.
No, really, that's the fear of the unknown. And what happens if I do get too successful, or what happens if this gets too big? That is a fear. There's three major fears. There's the fear of success, the fear of failure, and the fear of not being accepted. So the fear of success is a very real fear that many, 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 many feel. I once had a client who opened one of those jumping places, and it got too big, and he got so scared, and he was trying to keep it small. He was sabotaging the damn business to keep it small, and still kids loved it and came, and it got big, and he got so scared he almost wanted to sell the business, and that's why he came to me. He couldn't deal with the success of it. He always felt this need that he was never going to be able to fulfill it. And so if that's a real fear, that's a different kind of procrastination altogether. And you have to kind of look at it in your life. It's your fear. And so I guess you have to look at what it is that you want to do. Anything in your life, whatever it is, and if you have that dream or you have something you're trying to get out, and you don't even have to go full board into it if you're not ready. Take it like a hobby. That's how I started in my whole business. It was a hobby. It was just journaling, for heaven's sakes. But I started to just love doing the process and start loving the process. Don't worry about whether it's going to be big or small. Just start doing something you love and enjoy the process. And when you do that, like when someone said I had a book, I said, oh, okay. I was journaling. And I didn't really, and even when I started this business, when I really sat down and started it, I really don't think about how big it's going to get, how small it's going to stay. I really just enjoy teaching. That's my process. And I enjoy helping people conquering their fears. And I just do what I do best. And then I let anything else happen the way the universe or God says it should happen. And it's learning how to enjoy the process and not delving into the fear. So when your fear starts happening, say, and it is a fear. I know it is. So part of you, you got to try different things. Sometimes you can say, okay, I'm not going to worry how big this gets until it's going to be that big. Now, some people are good on that level. Some people have more fear than that. But try that first. Say, I'm not going to worry about this right now. Right now, I'm just going to enjoy the process. I don't care. This may get bigger or may not. I'm not going to worry about it until it happens. And then if you find that you still have the anxiety, then I love listing things. My father taught me this. And what we did, you write your fears. I did this when I first got out of college and I was looking for a job. You write your fears down on one side. Like, I'm scared I'm not going to meet the demand. Whatever the fear is. And then on the right side, write 2 solutions for each fear.
That's good.
And what that does is it minimalizes the fear. because you have a solution.
You double team it.
Do you see?
I see, yes.
And then the most important thing is to fall in love with the idea that you have. That's really what it is. And let it grow. And you have to be in love with whatever it is. Are you an artist?
No.
Oh, you look like one.
No, I've the pandemic has no haircuts, no whatever for a long
but
time.
my God, you're gorgeous. My God, you look like an artist. Yeah. Yeah. But try these things, and whatever it is that you're trying to do. I'm already putting you in a field. Oh, that's awful. But anyway, whatever.
I'll change my path. I've always had a secret desire to be an artist. Maybe that's it.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
I'm the only one in my family that did not get the drawing. My
Yeah,
mom
same
is
here.
oh God, and me, I can't. No, it's just not what I can do. That's not my forte. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I took a sculpting class, and then we were doing the wheel, and everybody's making these pots, and mine was a glob. But I had so much fun with my glob. It didn't matter. I didn't care if mine was a beautiful pot. I just loved playing with the mud. So that was me. But I mean, you know, I just enjoyed it. Some
Yeah.
therapy must have happened there. I don't know. But but for
Anytime you play with mud, it's good therapy.
it is really good. It is. It's fun. Maybe that's why I like the garden too, you know. But for you, you know, whatever it is, just build the process of loving to do it, and put aside and try to.
Okay, she should be coming back in.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. That's the key. So whatever exercise you choose, just remember that combination.
Yes.
Make the unknown known. And when you do that, you don't ever have to fear again.
Okay.
I teach a lot about fear because so many people have it. Okay, who else is on? Anybody?
We have
Della,
Martha.
do we have anybody on?
Yeah, we have
Who?
Martha on, but I can't get her to unmute. But Martha is
Oh.
on.
Oh, Marta, you don't have to unmute if you don't want to. That's okay.
Yep,
I
she
do
is
want to.
on. Yay.
Hey, Marta, I'm so glad you're on, sweetheart. I know who Marta is, I think. Well, anyway, so this thing about procrastination, and it is, I mean, I know some people say, just get over it, but you can't. And I had to learn to, you know, after a few, like Della, close deaths with my wonderful thrill monkey, who I got too close, and you know, up to the day, that didn't exactly work quite right. So I had to learn how to, I still get very close, but I've done it a little bit differently. Like now, before I speak, 2 days before, I'll do an outline. So we're dancing with it, okay? And then we'll start in the kitchen, we'll start doing it. We'll just start talking and seeing what we like. But still, it's that night that when I sit down to do it and the ideas just come and everything's just clicking. So I still love that. I still have that night as my thrill monkey. So I'm trying to, what do I want to do? I'm trying to make everybody happy. But yeah. But procrastination is, like I said, it's not always a bad thing. In that if you really just, you're thinking something through, do not put it into a worry category. My office is not on my worry category. I look in it and think, oh my God, I don't want to go in there. But it's not keeping me up at night. And that's the thing. I just go in. And I'm really thinking I'm going to start tackling it. I'm doing the first step. I'm going to that wonderful little Michael's or whatever, that hobby shop. And I'm getting those really nice floral boxes that I like. And all my tax and receipts and business stuff are going in these boxes. And then I'm going to stack them like they're a decorative thing. See, we're thinking, we're getting stuff. And I also know that I've hung a schedule up, and that is going to be my schedule. We're going to write things down. I'm going to see it visually. Another organizational thing. So I'm thinking things through. I am not letting it worry me. I'm not saying, oh my God, it's still a mess. It's still a mess. It's still a mess. Oh, let it go. You're working through it. Do you see? Yeah. So you have to kind of look at what is your procrastination, because everybody's different. Some of us love that thrill monkey. Some of us do the planning. Some of us have that fear. Some of us have a habit. But whatever it is, once you figure out what is your style of procrastination, then you can get the exercises, or get the person to help you, or a teacher or something, or get yourself to break whatever it is in baby steps. I can't stress that enough. And do you know why I always say baby steps and I don't say take that quantum leap and just dive in and change every habit in your life, or dive in and conquer that fear and go for it? Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that, because when we want to do that, it just defies everything in us, because we as humans love comfort. We as humans have, through so much history and all of our evolution, have been surviving against the wilds, surviving against this and that. We have learned about security, comfort, stuff you can depend on, lives that you're going to have food in that cellar for winter. Do you see what I'm saying? Our whole culture forever and ever has been on security and comfort. And even when we started forming prairie or towns and stuff, somebody's last name is Cobbler. Well, guess why? Because their family was a cobbler. And that cobbler was a necessity for that community. Everybody had the security. And my gosh, you don't go walking in those woods, because those woods are haunted. How do you keep everybody in that comfort and security? You create an enemy. So we learn that the unknown is almost the enemy. What's in that? Oh my God, what's going to happen in the future? Why do you think people do so well with tarot cards and everything else? Because, if I can know the future. Come on. But that's what we've learned. So when we move in baby steps, it's not as threatening. And you start easy and conquerable. And you build your confidence. You build those rewards. You feel good every little step. I have never just well, no, that's not true. I won't say that. Because I do I've been known to be the one to jump into an idea like I'm jumping out of a plane, but I don't have a parachute, because I always am the one who thinks I will gain the parachute on the way down. So I can't say I am. Someone once told me that. And I thought, I really am. And so why do I feel that way? Because why not? Life's too short, and if it doesn't work, I'll try something else. That's how I feel. But not everybody does. And so if you don't, then it's the baby steps. Don't go jumping out of the plane, guys, if you don't have a parachute. Just instead, walk the path for a little while. And then when you want, okay, take a canoe. Take a little bit bigger step. Then take a nice bigger step. Maybe it's a boat this time. And if you decide to fly, make sure you have a parachute and everything else you need. Do you see what I'm saying? The bigger you go, as you go, every step you get bigger, you make sure you have what you need to go. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And meanwhile, you're getting farther and farther away from sitting on the couch, worrying in this little tight spot that's called comfort. That's how it works.
Yes.
Okay. How's that feel with everybody?
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Anxiety didn't start in with anybody right at that time? We're having anxiety attacks here. No. Baby steps. And really, everything in your life should be, thinking of a baby step. Everything you want to do. Because it's with the baby, it makes it fun. And I'm not kidding. If you want a good Sunday movie, watch What About Bob and laugh the whole time and think, oh my God, if he can do that, I can conquer the world. I can conquer the world. Don't let procrastination be a reason why and when we were on the last week, that's all I heard. I did not hear these wonderful, someone say, everyone, thank you. I did not hear, oh my gosh, I'm so glad, I'm so glad that I did that. No, I'd say 98.5% of the time, it was, I really wish I had tried this. I really wish I had tried for that job. I really wish I had gone for that relationship I wanted so badly. I really wish I had written that book. I really wish I had done that, whatever. There were so many regrets. Don't let procrastination cause you to have the later regret. Find out your style, move as baby steps, do the exercises to move into a place where you are. You have what it takes. You just have to trust yourself. Okay? I know you can do it. Any other questions or comments or disagreements?
Pamela's on Facebook and she's saying hello, everyone.
Hello, Pamela. Oh, yay. I'm so glad you can make it. Pamela's always on, and she is a sweetheart. She also is doing she also comes on my World of Light meditation. Power has entered. Oh, Mojo Power has entered the room. So this is how you do it, folks. And I'd love to hear any comments. What do you think about what I'm saying? Is everybody, oh yeah, consciously you love it. But do you think you can do it? That's what I want to know.
I'm going to try.
Oh, you are. Can I ask where you're from?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm from Ottawa.
You are? I knew you. You know what? You're going to laugh at me, but I really had you pegged as either Vermont, New Hampshire, or Canada.
Yes, I'm from
That's
Canada.
a compliment. Well, I'm from Vermont originally, so that's a compliment. You know, you just have that good sense of humor and that, I don't know, you just seem like I know that feeling. I like it. So it's a compliment.
Thank you.
Yeah, do try it. Do try it, because I think you have a lot of good in you. I know that I have a feeling that when you put your mind to something, you can do it. So this is a good thing to conquer. Really is. So
Yes.
Carolyn, what about you getting out of that hospital now? She must be talking to doctors. And what about you? Now, Felicia's new to our group. Yeah, so what do you think about all this?
It sounds definitely doable. That's for sure. The baby steps, I want to watch. What About Bob? For sure. Because if he can do it, I can conquer the world.
Oh, God. And he is funny as hell. Oh, you gotta love Bill Murray. And it's so funny because he had a psychologist who was telling him, take these baby steps, take these baby steps. And then Bob starts invading his life with these baby steps. The psychologist goes nuts. It's really funny. He starts taking over his family. He starts taking over everything. It's a funny movie. It really is. It's really funny. And by the end, he's ready to strangle Bill Murray. I love it. See, you can conquer mountains. Yep. It is funny. Anyway, so I just think you owe it to yourselves. And we just, you know, procrastination can become so heavy, and the anxiety in our country is so big, and yet it's not that hard to conquer once you know your style, you know why you do it, and then you can take the baby steps that work for you to start walking forward.
Yeah.
And every week it gets better,
Mhm.
and you see you're doing stuff.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
sometimes, and when you're going in, and if you want to take a big leap, say you're somebody who wants to go into a new, just wanted to drop in and say hello. Hello, hon. Hello. If you are someone who wants to start a whole new career, okay, so maybe you've got a job and you're thinking, okay, you know, I'm getting a good income, but I really want to do this. All right, baby steps, guys. I once knew a guy who was working and he was installing chimneys. In fact, he works for me sometimes to do stuff. And he was going and he worked for this company, and the boss was horrid. They were alcoholics, not nice people to their employees. And he just wanted to get the heck out of there. But the pay was so incredible. Okay. So what did he do on the side? At night, he'd do his carpentry.
Mm.
And before you know it, he'd taken people who would see his carpentry and they'd say, hey, can you make something for me? So he started making something for them. He actually built the bridge that I have out in my yard.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden he got so many clients that he said, bye, I'm doing better this way. And he started it. He did baby steps. He didn't say, okay, I quit everything, I'm going to jump into this.
Yeah.
That's when the fear will attack you like mad. And you don't need to have that. But if you move in baby steps, guess what? The fear doesn't think anything about it because it's not a threat. Do you see? We're all taught to do the freaking quantum leap. And why do we give ourselves that heart attack? I have never, yes, I'll jump into an idea, but I'm not stupid. I do like my comfort a little. And I know that if I move in a baby step, if it's something that I'm not sure of, but I want, it's going to work better. Okay? So what time is it? Now, do we have any questions? Because we're almost, I always lose track. We're at 7:56. So I want to open this for questions, comments, or whatever. Worries, which is a good time to conquer those right now. Anything that's going on, I want to hear. So everybody is just ready to conquer those mountains in baby steps. And look at their, okay, I'm happy.
Trying to think of, this is Della. I'm trying to think of little ways I can reward myself because I really want to stop procrastinating so much. I've gotten better, but I still have a ways to go. So now after Deborah and you know, putting a little seed in my head about rewards. So
you
now
like rewards?
Yeah, I like that part.
Well, then set it up. You said that you like to do, okay, the tricking the mind's good, but maybe start 3 days before, 4 days before. And when you do something, say, okay, tonight I'm going to do, I don't know, the spreadsheet. I'm making this up. I don't know whatever it is. So I'm going to do the spreadsheet tonight. And right after that, I am going to, I don't know, I'm going to go get my favorite latte or whatever. Then the second night, okay, so I did the spreadsheets. The second night, I'm going to do such and such. Okay, that night, I'm going to go have a margarita. Or I'm going to go for, if I like, I'm one of those who loves to run, I'm going to go run. Okay? Whatever it is that really sets your heart on fire, set it up for each night. And then when you reach your deadline, then you get the big whatever celebration you want. Maybe that's going out with a couple friends. Maybe that's taking time for that wonderful hot bubble bath with wonderful candles and music and I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a great way to break the habit of procrastination.
Okay. I'll let you know what I come up with as my rewards.
I would love that. I love that. That's cool. All right, guys. So this week is our week. This is our week we start trying. This is our week that we really delve forward and take a few baby steps in the direction. and we distinguish why we're procrastinating. Because if you can't name it, guys, you can't tame it. I had a psychologist once say that to me, who lived in Toronto. So I think that, so take a look at that. But this is the week we start taking those steps and do the rewards and treat yourself well. You deserve it. You really do. And I'm so glad you were on tonight. I'm taking it that everybody is done. No more questions? Then let's go conquer the world, shall we? I love it. I'm glad you were on. And most of all, I am a spiritual curator, so I always love to end to remind you that spirit is love. So every time we are in love with what we're doing, or in love with people, or in love with just life itself, we carry spirit. Okay? Namaste. I love you all. Okay? Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Elena.
Thank
Bye, Carolyn. Feel better, sweetheart.
Thank
Bye,
you. I will.
Lisa. Bye,
you.
Deborah. Bye, Pam. Bye, Deborah. Bye, Moto.